See, you're going to see how that church got demonized, top to bottom. You're going to see why it's that way all over. But you've got to see it right here, not about me up here telling stories and experiences. If you see it right there. Now, these deceitful spirits, it also says, has doctrines of demons. Now, doctrines of demons points toward hell. It's a falling away, it's apostasy, and then, you know, pretty soon, let me tell you how it works, how the powers of darkness works. They begin, do you ever get in a boat and have your head down, and then you look up and you're all the way over here, and you'll say, well, how did I get over here? You drifted, and that's what they do. They just drift and drift and drift. And they deceive. Now, let me tell you something. You pastors that are in here right now, and see, we shouldn't be bothered with that. If there's some truth right here and it's a word, I don't care whether it's a carpenter or carpet cleaner, where James and John and James will just have a time today. Do you know it? But if it's in here in a word here, you see something in the word, I think it's all right to look at it if you miss a is or are or anything like that, if it's right there in the Bible, right? Because we know the truth, and the truth sets us free. So this is what the Lord in His grace is doing today. They're showing us the mystery of iniquity. Is showing out the powers of darkness, what they've been doing and what they've been deceiving us about. Now, in seminary, as most pastors have relayed to me, you come to that, you touched on it, and you went on. You didn't really learn about it, and I'm going to tell you something, Pastor. You, Pastor, don't stand a chance, shepherd, of properly shepherding a flock if you don't know and understand and deal with the powers of darkness. Only thing you can look forward to is some man coming to town, and when he comes there 2 weeks, they've taken away everything he's done. You know, you talk about going over the top, going over the top. We almost went over the top. You're not going to go over the top till you get rid of them and deal with them. And so now, if we come back to this part of the Word and deal with it, what we've been programmed with, the powers of darkness got us programmed real well to react to anything that mentions anything about the powers of darkness, to react to demons. You know, you start getting some labels laid on them. Now, all the people in here that ever dealt with things, people that represent God say what God said. Is that correct? And when they said it in here, there became criticism and the persecution. Is that right? Now, that's a promise for you. It comes to you. Well, many things have become. You'll be accused. You'll be saying you have an extreme view or something like that. Many things of this nature. You've gone off the deep end. You see a demon behind every bush. I see 50. And it's, you know, that's, I don't know whether I even should have said that or not, but I'm telling you something, folks. They control this world system, and the world's gotten a church. And they brought it in there. And they make a gospel of grace a social gospel. And that's what they've been doing. And when you'll see it by the Word of God here, these 3 days. They've deceived us. The whole bunch of it. Ain't nobody can boast. The whole bunch of us have been deceived to some degree. All right, then we're going to deal with how did things get to be this way? And I want to share with you. I just want to start down here, and I just want to begin sharing with you how things got to be this way. And then I'm going to do a little talking here this morning, and then we're going to get in the Word. We're going to stay in the Word, okay? But let me just explain some things, because when we come to it in the Word, so you'll just see it and understand it. Now, Adam was created in the image and likeness of God, which means he walked like God and he talked like God. Isn't that right? And Eve was taken out of the side of Adam. Is that correct? All right, they were in the image and likeness of God. And it come a time for them to be tested. And the powers of darkness do the testing. And without getting into details now, we know that Adam fell and he became earthly. We know in Genesis 5 that when Seth his son was born. He was not in the image and likeness of God. He's the image and likeness of Adam. Where were you when Adam, for this sin, he was cursed. And so were you. Because you were still in Adam. You hadn't been born yet. And so was I. You were cursed. And when you come into this world, you walked in an image and likeness. You walked, talk, and act like Satan. Your heart was in covenant with Satan. Why? Because your heart goes to the lust of the flesh. That's where you live. Everything you see, smell, taste, hear, and feel. It's pretty evident that the world out there lives for the lust of the flesh. You know what an egg carton is? Or a milk carton? You know, it's kind of container. I don't want you to think it's some new Greek word, but this is a carton. Can I call that the carton? Now, we're beautifully made as far as their body and everything. I'm talking about the lust. When I refer to the carton right here, I'm talking about the lust. Now, do you understand that the world out there lives for the temporal? Their heart goes for the lust of their flesh. All their decisions, everything, is for this carton. They live for the temporal, right? That's where they live, for the carton. Have you got that straight? So they walked and schemed. They're all wolves. Have to work out all the angles, step on the whole bunch, make a name for them, selfish ambition, selfish, I mean my. Their Lord. The world's full of them. They're in covenant with Satan in their heart because everything, I want you to listen very carefully. Everything you are, or everyone is in the flesh, so is Satan. When you walk after the flesh, of course, you know, when you get a new master and Jesus Christ is really your Lord, not just words, I mean really Lord. You walk in newness of light and you got a new master. But you're walking this world. You know, you go by what some of the world calls good, and what the world calls good is detestable in the sight of God. We know that in Luke 16. But you walk, talk, and act like Satan. Now, let me show you how. In the lust of your flesh, each one of us in the whole world here, is pride. It's there. Ego. It's there. Rebellion. It's all in there. All of these say I, me, my.